Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jag and welcome to World of Tanks Blitz. Today we're going to be talking about 5 features that should be added to World of Tanks Blitz, features that will improve the game, make it more interesting and fun. These ideas for features have not only come from myself but also some of the people on the Discord server, so if you want to come and shape the way I make videos, I do recommend joining down below. But I've rambled on for long enough, let's get into the video. Something I particularly want to see within World of Tanks Blitz is a new physics engine. Physics engines dictate how a tank reacts to being shunted, to being rammed, to falling off a cliff or falling off a bridge, all good stuff like that, and more importantly, they can allow tanks to flip. I think Blitz has been severely left out on this hot flipping action you see in World of Tanks PC and console. I mean, check this out! Yeah, I see you smiling, you know you want it. So I'm making a point, I'm drawing my line in the sand and I'm saying, I want to be able to flip my tank. Next up, we want a new game mode. Obviously we had the Mad games recently and they went down really well. They brought old players back to the game for a while and certainly I saw that battle queue times were significantly reduced and overall I think everyone just really enjoyed it, it was good fun. But just saying, oh, a new game mode is being a bit vague. What I'd really like to see is maybe a bigger game mode, so sort of 12 versus 12 I think would be really cool. Why are we restricted to 7 versus 7? I understand that back in the day, this probably wasn't possible. When the game first came out in 2014, we were all on what we would consider now as being low-end devices. But technology moves quickly, and it's time to see some innovation in the game, I think. Naturally, a 12 versus 12 game mode would need a bigger map, and that potentially opens the doors for a change in the meta. Typically, in World of Tanks Blitz, we see that a team will try to group up and all go the same way on a map. But having more players might lead to tactics we see in the likes of World of Tanks PC and World of Tanks console, whereby they'll have a team go down the right and left flanks. Ultimately, in my mind, it'd be fun to just mix it up a bit. And on top of that, in a 12 versus 12, the individual players would have less of an impact than a 7 versus 7. But Jag, why is that important? I will explain. In a 7 versus 7, if a player on your team dies, either intentionally via suicide, drowning or whatever, or if they get unlucky and get ammo racked, the odds are already significantly against you. It will often create a snowball effect whereby your teammates will start dying more so than the enemy team just because they've got more guns and more ability to take hit points away from you. Comparatively, in a 12 versus 12, if someone on your team were to die, it's less of an advantage to the enemy team. It's still an advantage, but just less of one. The only disadvantages I can think of a 12 versus 12 is that it's not so far away from a 15 versus 15, so if that's what you're after, you may as well just go and play World of Tanks PC or World of Tanks console. And in a 12 versus 12, the matchmaker might take longer to find a game. Next feature! This one might shock you, but I'd like to see some maps removed from the rotation. Currently, there are 25 maps in rotation, and I'm going to read them all out now. Are you ready? Are you prepared? We have Copperfield, Black Goldfield, Dead Rail, Falls Creek, Rockfield, Middleburg, Lost Temple, Himmelsdorf, Wintermanofka, Oasis Palms, Mines, Desert Sands, Castilla, Fort Despair, Port Bay, Canal, Mirage, Vineyards, Yamata Harbour, Canyon, Mine Ruins, Naval Frontier, Dynasty's Pearl, Alpenstad, and Faust. Boom! Where's my medal? The point is, less maps, less of a file size for the game. And taking some maps out of the rotation gives us the ability to have some new ones put in. The ones I wouldn't mind seeing temporarily gone are Copperfield, Fort Despair, Mirage, and one I don't really like personally, but I'm sure many of you actually do, is Canyon. Well, what should replace them? That brings me nicely on to the next feature. I'd like to see a D-Day map. Now this was something that has actually been sort of teased to us before, but this was all the way back in June. Here are some pictures of it that Wargaming released. But that map would certainly appeal to those who like the historical accuracy of the game. Not that there is much historical accuracy. I've just made a realisation, I don't think there are actually any maps with trenches you can drive over. Okay, yeah, that's weird. Especially considering that's exactly what the first tanks were designed to do. Wargaming, I've got an idea for you. Make this map, call it Overlord, and put some trenches in it. Cool, thanks. Speaking of maps that have been teased to us but haven't been released yet, we've got this one here, released back in April, so a long time ago. But it's a nice deserty feeling one, it's got a waterfall in the back there and some Greek ruins scattered about the place. Kind of like a Mirage 2.0, and seeing as though I want to remove Mirage, this might be quite a nice one to replace it with. And finally, the last feature that I'd like to see implemented into World of Tanks Blitz isn't really a feature, but I thought I'd include it anyway. I'd like to see the FV-4202, the British Tier 10 medium tank, replaced with the Centurion Action 10. The Centurion is my favourite tank in real life, and to have another one in the game would be excellent. But I don't necessarily want the FV-4202 to be completely gone, just make it a Tier 8 premium or something like that. And yeah, that'll do. Right then, well that'll do it. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what features you think should be added to World of Tanks Blitz in the comments below. Links for Discord, Twitter and Instagram in the description as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye!